Frank. What's the weirdest thing you've ever saw in here?
Let me ask you a question, kid. Did you see that movie, Night of the Living Dead?
Hey, we gonna party tonight or what?
Yeah, we are gonna party.
Well, where are we gonna party?
I don't know, somewhere.
Hey, we could go to the park.
Oh, no, we can't. The cops said they'd shoot us if we go back to the park.
Yeah, and I ain't in no mood to go tonight.
I like death.
Greetings, ghouls, and welcome to minute 56 of Do You Want to Party, the Movies by Minute podcast of the 1985 groundbreaking horror classic, The Return of the Living Dead. I'm your host, Troy, and joining me today is one half of our dynamic duo.
This is Ahmed, aka Horror Savvy.
And the other half.
And Natasha, I guess, and Gibsky Art. My name is so much less cool than yours. Artist and movie novice, I guess is my title. I remember every time now.
All right. That's good to know. Alrighty then. So we're going to be talking about this particular minute, which starts with Ernie finding the ambulance empty and ends with going through doors. So as we're in the middle of a sequence and all that sort of thing, after spinning around and pointing his weapon, Ernie discovers the empty seats of the ambulance. The passenger side door is also open. The camera swings slightly to allow a straight view through the cab. Ernie slowly lowers his gun and steps back slightly. The tremendous amount of rain still falling is shown on the front of the vehicle as it's wildly pelting it. And not only is Ernie's hair slicked against his head, his black trench coat shines with its wetness. Still cautious of the situation of not finding the paramedics, he relaxes slightly, reaching forward to close the driver's side door. As the camera cuts to a different angle, a now shadowed arm pulls the door shut, revealing a hidden grotesque vignette behind it. A single ghoul is making a meal of what's left of the first paramedic. It's slightly cradling his lifeless head, brain meat hanging out of his mouth. The serving vessel of what was the medical help's skull half torn away. As the sound of the door making a distracting noise, it alerts the eating corpse to now notice Ernie watching him. He gives out a drawn-out, angry cry. The gray matter in his mouth drops to the ground. Terrified beyond belief, Ernie screams as well, pulling up his sidearm, and quickly fires off 3 loud shots. The muzzle flaring while casings fly out of the discharging weapon. Ernie's scream outlasts the gun's job. The seemingly small corpse quickly falls back, dropping its hold on the paramedic's body. But it suddenly rolls over on the wet, muddy ground and pops up again, revealing itself to be missing both its legs and one of its arms. As it pushes itself onto its stump-like legs, it spins around and advances towards Ernie, who, now processing what he's seen, tears off towards the door leading to the embalming room, ignoring the curved path as he makes a beeline up the grass. Next to the ambulance, the triple amputee creature quickly hobbles forward, following what it perceives as its next meal. It slides slightly in a puddle at the base of the incline just as Ernie reaches the back entrance. Meanwhile, back inside the embalming room, everyone is working together to help Frank and Freddy. Bert and Scuzz help lift Frank off of the chair that he was currently sitting in, while Tina and Spider assist Freddy. Both men weighing heavily on the help of others to even stand at this point. As they start to shuffle to move the sick guys, Ernie bursts through the door. He cries out for a savior. And then, after slamming the door shut, slides the lock back into place. Bert questions the racket from outside.
What was that shooting, Ernie? What, Ernie?
And Ernie continues his shocked, muddled moaning. After the door is secure, he quickly gets to the window by his desk. Everyone moving Frank and Freddy still shuffling towards the door. Jacket still draped over his shoulders, Ernie pulls down the security shutters over the window. Still calling out for Heavenly Savior, he heads towards the window behind the leather sofa. Bert yelling for an explanation as him and Scuzz have to pull Frank out of the way as Ernie barrels his way to close the other security shutters with a large locking sound.
What the hell?
Still whimpering as he goes, Bert calls out for an explanation yet again. And still highly mortified, Ernie tries his best to relay the information.
What is it?
They're all over the cars. It's horrible. They're out there. They're paramedics are dead. And we can't take the cars.
While the six, three on either side of him, watch and try to figure out what he's saying. As the situation of what he's seen finally spews out of his mouth, Ernie concludes about further assistance.
Bert, we've got to call the police.
And as he hustles to the phone on his desk, Bert addresses the Frank and Freddy situation.
Set him down. Set him down. Set him down easy.
Panicked breathing and a sudden conclusion makes Ernie turn around.
Not working. That's not working.
He then rounds the embalming table and heads off, Bert following, calling for Scuzz and Spider to follow.
Come on.
As Ernie pushes through a door that a minute ago swung into the room, and still brandishing his weapon, Bert, Scuzz, and Spider, along with the camera, go through the doorway and down the hallway. Just as the Surfing Dead by the Cramps starts to play. And that's where we end our minute. All right, so a word to those listening in. I selected this particular minute for a particular host because of a particular comment that she had mentioned when she first joined us and all that sort of thing. And so, Natasha, what were your first impressions when you saw this? What is called the legless corpse?
Legless corpse. I mean, like, to put it simply, like, my first thought was just like, oh hell no. Like, no thanks. Not that I'm confident that I could take on any of these things. But yeah, like, definitely that would be like the last one. Like, if I could choose like which one I would like not want at all, it would definitely be this one. If I encountered it, I don't know. I just spent the rest of my life in therapy trying to get over like that thing chased me and tried to eat me. Anything else I could get past, it's just not that one.
Yeah,
There's something about it just it's too fast. I think that's the problem.
Well, these are we have established these are quick moving zombies to begin with. I mean, they can take you down. I mean, just a minute 2 minutes ago, we had Casey and Chuck running from a horde of them heading towards back into the warehouse and all that sort of thing. So yeah.
But like there's quick moving zombies and then there's quick moving zombies they don't have legs.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably the most disturbing one other than Tarface to this point. I mean,
Yeah.
Tarman
No.
to this point.
I don't know. Like I still I don't know. I mean, not that this
Like Tarman is like great looking.
Yeah.
but like I don't know. I also get like okay, I know that this I already asked you this at some point, and I know the answer is no. Immediately when I saw Tarman and the way that he moved, I'm like, oh, that guy must be a dancer. And like that's not the vibe I got with this one. Like I saw this thing like hurling its legs at like towards the guy and like actually picking up like speed, and that freaked me right out. Like the other one, I don't know, like there's just something so off-putting. Like you don't think he's gonna be as fast, like nearly as fast as
No,
like
you don't.
Yeah.
Oh
That's the
no,
whole
it
thing.
is. Oh no, that is the thing about him. Yes, he is a very like it is a very shocking thing to, especially. First of all, he just flops back and all that, and he's like, oh, and then he turns around and he actually pushes himself up off the ground with his I guess his one arm and all that sort of, and then
Yeah.
spins and then like that quick hobble towards I know it's a very disturbing character, and the fact that because he is what we consider a feature creature, they do makeup on him. They do an actual makeup job on him. You can see that he's got done to him what other creatures in the have not yet, where they just coat people in mud and all that sort of thing, and they walk around and all that sort of thing. There's not a lot of makeup done to them and all that. But this guy gets a makeup job and all that sort of thing, and I think it works beautifully. And especially, and again, the gentleman does not obviously possess three of his limbs and all that. His name is Jerome Coleman, just to put it out there, and he actually only was in three movies, two others that came out in 1991 and all that. Obviously, a little bit of the horror genre to begin with and all that. So this was his first appearance doing this sort of thing.
I like how you say only three movies. It's like, well, that's three more than I've been in.
I understand. Yes, I understand that. But I mean, that's all that he has done. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. And
guess.
unfortunately, there isn't much about Jerome that I could find on the internet other than the three things that he has starred in.
I like that he's got a movie for each missing limb.
Wow.
Getting the job cost him an arm and a leg and a leg.
That's magical. Thank you for saying that.
That was pretty good. That was pretty smooth. That was pretty smooth. So yeah, so we actually we'll be getting to the over in the commentary track with Dan O'Bannon, the director and writer, and William Stout, who is the production designer. When the corpse is revealed, the legless corpse, William Stout points out that he's eating actual brains. Dan O'Bannon backs up his statement. Then William Stout goes on to compliment the actor and just how enthusiastic he was. He then mentions that Dan O'Bannon would pay would pay the extras more if they ate the brains, and how they were actually calf brains. Dan O'Bannon points out that how he mentioned that he wouldn't make anyone eat anything that he himself wouldn't eat. Actually took part in the consumption of the calf brains. William Stout remembers him, Dan O'Bannon, chomping down on said brains.
Were they cooked or raw?
They were boiled. They were
Okay.
boiled. Yeah, so yes, they were
worse
definitely
than raw.
Yeah. Well, it would make the consistency stay a little more together. I mean, a raw would just like fall apart. Also, you're also dealing with a lot of the stuff is outside in the rain and all that sort of thing. So a raw meat compared to a boiled meat would probably like
Yeah, no, I mean you wouldn't want to
either way.
one.
Either way, yes, no, the texture is going to be gross.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm like anyway, I just was curious like how much like does it cost to pay someone to eat raw brains?
They don't actually say anything, but he did mention
it's more
that
of a fear factor thing.
That's what I was wondering.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I could see myself being like a director and being like, I wouldn't make anyone eat what I wouldn't eat, but I eat a lot of really weird stuff. So
There you go. Yeah.
I say it like anyway, definitely can like con people into like eating some like gross stuff that's like not safe for consumption. But anyway.
So William Stout backs up the remembrance of Dan O'Bannon eating the brains, only to follow up with how rank they were smelling a few days later. Dan O'Bannon adds that that by saying how the smell could clear a stadium, and how they just threw them outside and forgot about them. And we'll have a little bit more on the rest of that story in the next minute, because that's where the commentary gets cut off at the end of this particular minute. Yeah, not a lot goes on, but a lot goes on in this particular.
Oh, it's all the best things though.
I mean, for me, arguably, I think he's got, if not the best. I mean, Tarman is a character, but
Yeah.
for someone, it's not an actual like character that's like over and over again in the movie. He's the highlight of the movie for me for the zombies.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure. Like,
because-
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no. Because of his introduction, first of all, the shock of seeing you actually get to see someone. This is the first zombie you see consuming brains. This is the first you actually see. Like, you don't get to see Tarman. You see Tarman bite into Suicide's head. You see that.
It's almost like an apple,
Exactly. But you don't see him feast on it. You see the blood spooling out and all that sort of thing. But
this
you don't
guy,
actually-
like just the look on his face and
Yep.
like the makeup job and like what he did.
That screech he gives
It is
out.
all ecstatic, it's so well done, and like for a movie that's very much on the side of comedy more than horror, Like this, you could take out this scene and put it in an actual like straight
Oh,
horror
for sure,
movie,
a straight out
and
horror.
it would
Yeah, no,
work
this is
so
yes,
well.
this is definitely.
Yeah.
And also Don Calfa's reaction is perfect for the
Oh
sequence
yeah.
as well. He just heightens it by his the that haunted look in his eyes as he
Yeah.
sees what he's seen and all that. And yeah, no, it's yeah. Again, you're right. You pull this out of this comedy horror and put it into an actual full on horror, it
And it
would fit
honestly, if it
perfectly.
was in an actual just straight up horror movie, it'd probably be one of the most memorable scenes like of all time. You know? It's funny that it
Yeah.
gets overshadowed because of the fact that it's a horror comedy.
No, but that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. So, according to the script, which is a story and screenplay by Dan O'Bannon, and we're dealing with the revision from 1983. And this is also based on the story and screenplay by John Russo, Rudy Rickey, and Russell Steiner. Now, of course, this sequence starts in the middle of a sequence, so I'm just going to back up to the beginning of the scene. So,
Mhm.
exterior, rear of mortuary, night rain. Ernie hustles into the driving rain, gun in hand, fishing amongst the keys on his ring for his car key. Up ahead of him, he sights the ambulance. Its doors stand open. The ambulance lights are on. Ernie hurls towards it. He hurries up to the door of the driver's side, which is open. He looks into the front seat. It is empty. Puzzled, he closes the car door. As the door swings shut, it reveals paramedic number one's body, which is lying on the wet cement with a corpse eating its head. Ernie cheeks puff out with vomit, and he makes his noise like "Oomph." That's
So
what it actually
good.
says. That's what it actually says here.
No, but you read it so well, like I believed it.
The corpse looks up right into his eyes with blood all over its mouth and chin. And it's an awful sight. And it's an old corpse, mostly a skeleton held together by tendons and dried skin. It is especially a hideous corpse. Ernie fires at the corpse. The bullets strike it, knocking it over. It jumps right back up again and comes at him. Ernie screams and turns around and runs back towards the mortuary. Interior embalming room, night rain. Ernie comes through the door like a ram and spins around and slams the door shut. Fortunately, fortunately, it is a big, heavy door. There is a security bolt which he throws and then slams shut the shutters of the windows. Ernie. Oh God! Oh God! Bert. What, Ernie? What? Ernie pointing. It's Bert. It what, Ernie? What the fuck is it? Ernie looks around wildly, crazy-eyed. Everyone is riveted, staring at him. Ernie. Horrible! All over the cars? They're out there! We can't get the cars. We gotta call the police. Ernie turns and runs down the hall to his office. I like how they obviously wrote the script before they knew who they were going to have in the role, but the fact that they say that Ernie looks around wild, crazy-eyed. Yeah, Don Calfa can definitely do the wild, crazy-eyed look.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that brings us to our work print comparison, which is where we take the final film. When you're done filming your whole entire movie, you culminate all the scenes that you shot, and then you take that as the work print, and then you edit it down to what you derive to be your final print and all that. For this minute, we are dealing with minute 55 to 56, whereas in the work print is going to be minute 65:34 to 66:36. Now, the only thing to point out is after the legless corpse pops back up and rushes Ernie, the shot lasts a little longer. And the shot of Ernie entering the back of the mortuary is a tad longer as well, so we get to see a little bit more of the legless corpse also struggling a little as we actually this time see Ernie entering the building, whereas in the final print he gets to the window and then all of a sudden we cut inside, and that's the only difference. That's why it's only 2 seconds longer than the actual minute.
Do you think that slip in the rain was like legit? I feel like it's legit.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean,
Because they cut like right there. Like they
yeah,
cut as
yeah,
soon
he
as it
does. Yeah,
before it hit
yeah.
the ground.
Again, while he doesn't in the work print, he's there for a little longer. The
Yeah.
unfortunate thing is because of the degradation of the video and all that sort of thing, it's really hard to see. So he does
Yeah.
fall over, but it doesn't look like he actually completely falls over. So
Okay.
he stumbles a little bit
Even more
more, but
impressive.
yeah, yeah. What I want to point out is, though, one of my favorite things about that little sequence where Don Calfa is running up the hill to the back door, where he's got his jacket still over his shoulders. He actually hunches slightly, and the way he transfers from the light of the parking lot to the light of the mortuary back door, he hunches himself so much that at one point he looks like he could play like the headless horseman sort of thing. His head completely disappears into shadows, and it's just his wide shoulders because he's got this jacket over him and all that sort of thing with his hands moving, all that sort of thing. So it
Yeah.
looks like he's almost practically headless in that particular
With
shot.
shorts though.
With yeah, with
With
the one
shorts and high
with the one
socks.
short leg. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right,
Why would
right.
you bring that up? You're
All
ruining the
right.
shoot.
All right, so that's going to bring us to the end of this particular minute. Anything else you guys want to point out about this particular minute that we might have glossed over, or you want to delve into anymore?
The only thing that I had to say was that at the very end, you said that he went to a door, then the previous scene it opened like it swung
Mhm.
a different way.
So yeah, so
Um,
from what we can surmise from that scene is he leaves the embalming room to go into the hallways to enter the rest of the funeral parlor where the building is. However, to get into the embalming room, the door actually opens into because in the end of the previous minute when Ernie, Tina, Scuzz, and all of them come out of the hallway, they enter the embalming room and the door opens
mhm,
into the room.
mhm,
Whereas in this shot, he pushes the door, which means it goes out of the room,
mhm.
and it's not a double hinged door.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, the door that, I mean, again, it could be another door, but the fact that we only know that there's one gray door leading out of that particular room and they don't show any other doors, it's kind of hard to tell, but unfortunately, they cross the
Yeah.
paths, and yeah, one way the door goes one way, the other way the door goes the other way. So it's just,
No,
again,
I appreciated you bringing it up. Sorry not to cut you off, just because
okay.
every time if someone that I have like a left-handed thing.
Hmm.
Not that that's the same thing, but like anytime we're watching something, if someone's writing with their left hand, I'm like left hand, left hand. Even if like we're eating, I'm like mid bite, I have like food in my mouth, like I'm like oh my god, look 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 look. Like it doesn't matter. It's not even a big thing. Um,
Hmm.
I didn't notice the door swinging both ways,
Right. Yeah.
so I appreciate you bringing. Like I would have missed that, so I appreciate you mentioning it.
Again, it's something you probably wouldn't notice
No,
on a casual view. You're just watching through and all that sort of thing. Again, you break these movies down to 1 minute sequences and you spend like an
100%.
hour or two going through 1 minute and you realize, hey, wait a sec, that door swung the other way and all that.
Hmm.
Again, we don't see the whole door, so we don't know if it's actually the same door. We're just assuming that the
Yeah,
gray
yeah.
door that they're pushing through is the same door they came into. So yeah. All right. So on that note, we're gonna wrap up this particular minute. Thank you, my dynamic duo, for joining me for this particular minute.
Thanks for
I'm
having us.
Maybe we
I'm
change
glad
our
that
name.
I'm glad Natasha we could get you on for the legless corpse that
Oh
you
no, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. 'Cause, yeah,
yeah.
like this is honestly like this is the only scene that scared me in the whole thing. Like everything was like, oh wow, that's really cool, or like, oh, that's really creepy. But I was like, oh my God, like absolutely not. Like, no thanks.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
good.
And it's because it's
Um,
also the reveal of the character as well. It's the first time that the zombie is revealed that way. Everyone else is slow or lumbering. Like even like Tarman is like he moves himself into the scene and all that. He slowly
yeah.
comes into the scene. This is a screaming creature all
It's
of
like
a
a little
sudden.
rocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the fact that he hustles like that
Yeah.
with yeah. So
Yes. I mean, I still can't say it's my favorite scene. My favorite scene was still the ripped pants. Um, which like not that you have to have me on for that minute, but like I don't know who else you're gonna have for that. 'Cause
Already done. Oh no, the other guy.
no, no, no. Yeah, when
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
the whole thing. No, yeah, not Ernie. That's like I'm over that.
Yeah.
The other guy's ripped pants. Um, yeah, that like I don't think that was supposed to be in there. That's why it's my favorite. It's like magic if
exactly,
you catch
exactly. Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
like a door swinging both ways.
All right. So again, thank you guys for joining me for this episode. I want to thank the audience for also joining in. Again, it's always a pleasure to see the numbers slowly but surely creeping up. I want to thank everyone for joining for this journey. We are at the time of recording about well, less than a month away from our goal of doing a live recording of this particular podcast in a movie theater, where we're also going to be showing the timing of the 40th anniversary of the movie itself on August 16th. We're just hopefully trying to secure a little bit of more funding to help bring this to reality. If you want to go to our donation page at ko-fi.com/planet Geek Pod. There will be a link in the show notes for a more precise link, just in case I just messed that up, because I'm probably sure I say it differently every single time I say it. But in the show notes, it's proper. So if you think we're worth the effort and a little bit of money, we would appreciate anything and everything you guys send us. So again, thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, audience.
One more thing to add on to
One
this.
more thing to add on to
One
that.
more thing is
Oh,
that
what's that?
well, we just passed July 3rd.
Yes, we did. Yes.
So
As at this episode will be coming out 2 weeks after the third. But yes, unfortunately, we
yes.
did. I was going to try and get some sort of recording done, but unfortunately, uh, a Thursday evening in the middle
Yeah.
of the week is not, unfortunately, a good time to do anything. Unfortunately, but yes, we have just passed, as we are like the weekend. We are the beginning of the week after the third. So hopefully
Just a
everyone,
note.
yeah,
So, so for,
hopefully everyone had a good Return to the Living Dead day. On the third, it was the 41st anniversary of the events that happened in the movie, and like I said, on the 16th of August will be the 40th anniversary of the release of the movie, which we hope to be celebrating again with help from some funding. We have about, oh, at the time of you listening to this, we have about maybe 3 weeks, if I do my math correctly. All right. So once again, thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, audience. I got nothing else to say except see you next Wednesday.
You've just been listening to a Planet Geek production of Do You Want to Party? A Movies by Minute podcast of the 1985 The Return of the Living Dead. Please be sure to subscribe, download, comment, share, rate, and review. Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, or Letterboxd. Search for Planet Geek Productions. X, former Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, search for Planet Geek Pod. Or send us an email to planetgeekpod@gmail.com. Our closing music is provided by Night Chill. See the show notes for more details. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and farewell, fiends.
There we go. Hello.
Hello again.
hi.
Oh, you're
Hey.
there you go. Your voice was
What?
trailing off in the beginning there.
Oh, sorry. A sec. Let me check my cables. There we go. All right. All right. We all good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. So for this particular minute, which is minute 50, I was just about to say 55 to 56, but it is minute 55 to 56. And in the work print, we are dealing with a minute of numeric dyslexia gets me again.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was funny. Do you have anything to add?
I do not.
All right, then.
I've added
Okay.
my share of additions.
Or subtraction of limbs or whatever.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
See ya.
Bye.
There you go. Nice and simple. There we go.
For the movie novices, what's July 3rd? Is that like the
That's the movie starts.
that's
July
the
3rd.
days that
Day.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, acting like I've
day.
seen this once and a couple minutes.
Yeah, because basically the beginning of the next day is July the 4th. So basically, yeah, the big explosion at the beginning of the next morning is July the 4th. So yeah.
I got you. Okay, makes sense. I don't know if it's like, the birthday of one of the guys or like the director. I don't like anyway, that's why I'm like I don't want to assume. I just didn't say anything.
Look up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
I can tell by the glow of the blue what you're showing her.
You can probably see it in some of the reflections and stuff here.
Not quite, but
yeah.
it's a telling enough colored scene to
Yeah.